皆さん、こんにちは。Joanna です。Last week I made the video about learning Japanese with SpyxFamily. I hope you are trying to hear those words that we learned in that video while you're watching the anime show. And of course, I'm a big fan. I'm a super big fan of SpyxFamily. I fell in love with it in the first episode. And I couldn't help myself. And last week I bought myself this over here. And I thought, why not learn Japanese also with the mangas? So today we will be reading together the first chapter of SpyxFamily, 100% in Japanese. Of course, I was very surprised of how hard it is, meaning when Twilight is thinking, he tends to choose the more complicated words, not the easy ones. So I will simplify it for you guys, but we will read it together. We will learn a few words. We will learn a few grammar. And I also will explain to you how I do it to learn manga in Japanese. Of course, I've been studying Japanese for years. So for you, if you are just starting to learn Japanese, it will not be the same. But I will give you a few tips and we will learn with it. So let's go. So what I first do is create a Pages document. I usually use one that is completely blank, and I will use that one to write the words that, well, I am very picky, so I write quite a lot of stuff. I write the words that I didn't understand. I write the words that I'm familiar with, but if I cannot translate a word like in a second, I will write also that down. If I doubt, I also write that down. If I'm not sure how the kanjis are written, I also write that down. So I pretty much write a lot of this stuff down, but yeah, I create a Pages page where I can write the words that I don't know or I didn't understand or what I explained before, and then I write next to them the translation, and I also write how those words are read. But of course, first of all, I want to make it pretty because I like everything to be very pretty and organized. So I create, let's say, a document that has the colors and photos and yeah, that it looks kind of pretty. Every volume that I read, I put a picture of the manga that I am reading because I feel that in this way with the pictures, it is more divided, let's say. So every volume that I read, I put a picture of it. Once I found the perfect picture and I like how it looks, I will write first volume in Japanese also. I will write first chapter, and every chapter that I'm reading, I will write the number of the chapter, and below the chapter 1, I will write those words that I didn't understand or I'm not sure about. Then I create a list with bullet points to write those words that I didn't understand. In this case, I chose Anya because Anya is super cute. After that, I write the words that I didn't understand, and I always use the phonetic guide. What is the phonetic guide? So basically, it's writing above the kanji in hiragana how those kanjis are written. I really don't care if I know how to read it or not. I put it in all of the kanjis that I write. Because I'm a perfectionist. If one kanji has it, I need all of other kanjis to have the same. So that's why I always use the phonetic guide, and I love that feature. I will talk about a phonetic guide in another video, but it's very useful to use when you're using your computer to practice and learn Japanese. I have everything set. I will search that word into the Jisho. Jisho is the best dictionary that is out there online to use to translate from Japanese to English. So I recommend you to use that one. I will leave the link of that dictionary in the description. And then I copy paste the translation that Jisho gave me. While I am reading, I usually search for the word, and then I usually write the word in the Pages document, then I search it, and then I continue. If usually to put everything more pretty, I finish reading the chapter and then I put everything, let's say, pretty again. Now that you know how I, let's say, create my guideline to read the manga, let's start. As I said before, I will simplify it because it is very hard to do everything, very hard to read everything, and the vocabulary, as I said, it's pretty complex. So we will just go for those highlights, scenes, let's say, and we will learn a few words with it. One important point that I want to add is that knowing grammar, it helps you a lot while you are reading manga because you will be able to determine if a word is a verb, an action, or a noun or an adjective, and it makes a big difference when you don't understand something. That helps you understanding it. So knowing grammar is a very important thing to be able to read manga by yourself. So let's start with the first scene. The anime is super accurate in this case, like literally super accurate. The first chapter that I read in the manga is exactly the same as the first chapter in anime, so that was amazing. So here, of course, Twilight is the one that is singing and says, 人はみんな誰にも見せぬ自分を持っている. Learn the kanji of person on the last video that I uploaded about kanji. So here we have hito. Hito was person. So basically, let's translate this. Everybody has a part of themselves that don't show to others. So 自分 would be oneself, and 持つ持ちます is the verb to bring. So why do we have it here as 持っている? 持っている. This would be present continuous. Present continuous. How do we create the present continuous in Japanese? So we would change the verb into te form, and then we would add imasu. If you don't know what the te form is, I plan to do a video about the te form this week. Let's continue. Then he says, 友人にも恋人にも家族にさえも. Do you remember what koibito was? We saw it in the video of the using the SpyxFamily anime to learn vocabulary in Japanese. So koibito was partner. Then we have here 友人. 友人 means friend or close friend. And finally 家族 is family. This word we also learned with the other video of SpyxFamily. Then we have this nimo. This nimo means it's like a negative, meaning not even the friends, not even the partners, not even to the family. So nimo. So yet again, let's start from the beginning. Everybody has a part of themselves that they have that they don't show to others, not even to the friends, close friends, not even to the partners, not even to the family. And then here we have on the last part of the page, 貼り付けた笑顔や矯正で本音を隠し、本性を隠し、そうやって正解は, and here it stops. This part is very complicated to translate and to understand, but the one word that you could learn over here is 笑顔. 笑顔 is smile. 笑顔. And also 隠し comes from 隠す隠します, that means to hide. So that one is also a word that you can learn today, reading SpyxFamily. What does it actually say? So we could divide the first part into two small parts. The first one would be 貼り付けた笑顔や矯正で. So 貼り付けた笑顔. 貼り付ける it means to paste or to stick. So with a sticked smile or with bluffs, because kyosei is bluff. We saw it while I was typing it. And then we have the second part that says we hiding, because kakushi, hiding the real intention or true opinion, and or hiding our true real nature. And then そうやって世界は like that. そうやって means like that. そうやって世界 is another word that you could learn. It's a pretty basic word. Means 世界 means world. So the world, and then we move on to the next page. And we have this pretty illustration of three of them in a table, sitting down and with all, let's say, the things that they hide under the table. 世界はかりそめの平穏を取り付けろっている. So let's check that out. 正解 was super easy, but this part, it's not again. So let's check it out. So かりそめ, well, かりそめ would be like temporary. And 平穏 would be calm or peaceful. So the temporary peace, let's say, を取り付けろ comes from 取り付けろ and 取り付けろいます. That means to keep up with appearances. The temporary peace keeps up with appearances, basically. So this part I didn't, let's say, trim it to the basics because I thought that it's very pretty, the illustrations, and it's the beginning, so I wanted to translate everything. But for now, we will be cutting the scenes, and we will only be checking out the more basic stuff that I could found, or the important things of the main points of the first chapter, let's say. I think this video will be very long, even though I am like trimming the important, let's say, parts or more basic parts. But even though I really think the video will be very long, so I think I will separate it between like parts, this video. If you really like it, show it some love, show it some likes, and I will make the second part. But yeah, I don't think I will not be doing everything now. So in the first page, we have that scene where they are driving in the car and everything. It's pretty complex, so I will skip that. And we will go directly when we meet our, let's say, protagonist. And it's in the second page. So basically, you have a table of people talking about the country and everything. And one of them says, 彼に任せよう. 彼に任せよう. So, 彼 means he. It's a very basic word. You should definitely know it. 彼. And 任せる, 任せます, it means to entrust a task to someone, to leave some task to someone. And we can hear this verb a lot in anime. 俺に任せて. Leave it to me. So, it's not like, let's say, very basic. It's not basic at all, but it is true that we can hear it a lot in anime. And if you manage to memorize it, you will hear it a lot for sure. So let's entrust it to him without telling us who him is. And then he says, うちで最も腕の立つエージェント. So we need to, in order to translate this, we need to put it together with the other thing that we translated here. So basically here, well, agento is agent, so let's leave it to him. Or most, let's say, man with, or agent with good arms, or best agent. And then we have that picture that says Tasogare. So Tasogare is twilight in Japanese. And that's the code name for our protagonist, Tasogare, twilight. We move forward in the scene where, well, I imagine you saw the anime and you read the manga, because I'm assuming all of this. I hope I'm not making spoiler of anything. If you don't know about this manga or anime series, just go check it out. But then we have the part where they are supposed to hand out the pictures. And we have here a word that we will check out because I think it's very basic and useful. But like all of the, let's say, that part we will skip. So it says 약속. 약속 is promise. And we can hear this word a lot also in TV. So 약속, promise, if I put it together with 수르시마스, it means to make promise. 약속する, 약속します. So they hand out the pictures to the minister. And then we have the next scene that we will check out together. And we have here the minister that says, どこへ行く? どこ means where. Direction, and 行く行きます is to go. So, どこへ行く? How do you think you would translate that? So, where do you go? Or where are you going? Then he says, さあ、約束の物を渡してもらおうか? So, さあ, so like an expression. 約束の物, the things that you promised, or the things of the promise. 渡して, hand them to me. And then the agent or spy that was supposed to give them the picture is like, eh? And then we have this scene of Tasogare ripping out the mask. And they say, やられた, they got us, or they got me. I have here, codename Tasogare. Code name, Twilight. And then we have this very pretty illustration. 男はスパイだった. The man was a spy. Wow, that was a lot of work. Not what I expected. I think in this video we will do until here. I know it's a very short scene. I know it's very short what we actually saw, but I hope it served a lot to practice. I hope you like this video. If you would like more videos about me reading manga with you and trying to simplify it and check out the words and the grammar with it, please let me know in the comment section or write me a message. I would love to know your feedback. And yet again, thank you so much for watching and see you in another video. またね、ありがとう。